So this is a Wenlock 2023, and this is a trip that a few mates and I tend to do every single year. We try to do it every year, but we're not able to every year because of the river height and different things that have stopped us. But this will be my 9th Wenlock that I've done. But the first time we're doing it from the Frenchman's Track down to Moreton, which is the road that goes across the Wenlock over the old telegraph track. So it's a completely different stretch of river. You'll notice that this year there's 3 boats again, but in my boat I'll be by myself because unfortunately Sam, my partner, was supposed to be with me this year, but her father passed away yesterday, and my father passed away a bit over a month ago as well. So, and I got to say, Sam's dad, he was an engineer for a long time up in PNG, and Sam grew up in the highlands of Papua New Guinea. It's been pretty tough anyway to grow up around there, and my dad taught me a lot about fishing and everything. So to Peter Swanson and to my dad John Ward, look, we miss you guys millions. So I'm going to dedicate Wenlock 2023 to Sam's dad Peter Swanson and my dad John Ward. Rest in peace, boys. We miss you millions. One of the hardest parts about doing this river float is getting the cars, the boats and the anglers into the river, and then getting the cars to the opposite end so that we can pick them up when we're finished. It's a really tricky operation, as you can see. Just getting the cars and the trailer off the beach can be really difficult. The old 80 series cruiser, dragging the Colorado out, but Colorado's got a good excuse. It's got a big ass trailer on it. Nice job, boys. Piss Gemma or what?
Just not do that again.
So day 1, Wenlock 2023, just leaving camp now, and we got 5 anglers with us this year. We got Jeff and Noppo again, joined us last year where the river was a little bit too high, so we'll have a much better year this year. And a couple of Weipa locals, a Sparky from Weipa and a Chippy from Weipa. We got Ryan Jemison or Jemo and his mate Damo. So 3 boats once again. As I said yesterday, Sam wasn't able to join me, so I'm in this boat by myself this year. So I've got a bit of extra gear packed up the front, and yeah, let's go smack some fish.
Horse.
Oh, it smells like crack actually. Yee.
Yeah, beautiful. Alright, send him.
Oh, he bit me. Oh no! The sacrifices we make.
Nice big sooty. Oh yeah, that's a footy. Oh yeah, little fella. It's a start.
Now that sun's up in the air, the Wenlock's starting to cough up a few toga, which we thought is what would happen. Nice. Yeah, nice work. Send him. I don't know what that is. Should get heaps, guys. Looks like a barking grunter or something. No, it looks like a sooty. It's some kind of perch. Here we are, up at Wenlock. We're probably 1 hour in, and Damo's just banged us stomping toga straight off the top. There you go, mate.
Beauty. How'd you go, Jamo? Show us what you got.
Oh, that barra, mate.
First blood, eh?
First blood.
Well,
Swampy.
bloody
On the
marvellous.
surface too, so that counts. And there's a meter. What do you reckon? Slimy jumping here.
Bloody marvellous.
On surface too, so that's cool. Yeah, got him. Ooh, he's got a fish. How'd you go? How'd you go? Get out of there. Get out. Oh, I beat him. I got him. Oh. Mate, that is a cracking footy. Look at that. Oh, mate, you're a beast. Mate, that's your home. That big snag right here, I'm about to bump into. But we call them footballs because that's a pretty accurate description of them. They're about the size of a footy. And just have a look at them. It's like their head doesn't get any bigger, their body just keeps growing and growing. Move that out. There we go. So I've got to a shallow bit. The boys are coming behind me, and it's all rock here, and the water's gotten real shallow and moving quite quick. And I dare say once I get around the corner, we're going to get our first set of rapids, and maybe even a little waterfall. We've got to get the boats down. I might start walking my boat if I get in trouble. You guys will be behind me anyway. Yeah. So the boys are coming back after walking Black Betty down, first boat
maybe not even a quarter of the way through these rapids yet, but most of us got no shoes on, and we're walking on rock, and it's slippery, and I'm just hoping no one does an ankle. But yeah, part of getting through the river.
See, I reckon there's a waterfall on this side, but I reckon if you go around, follow that rapid around, you'll be straight to deep water there. Yeah, if we can kind of jump in where after the waterfall.
So at this stage, the boats are getting a full unpack, so we're going to take the boats down empty. We have to walk all our gear to the other side of the rapid. Well, there's a waterfall that we've got to get over through all this shrub and bush and stuff like that. So this is going to take a few hours, but there's no safe way around it. We could go to the right where the water's deep and go straight down the waterfall, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to risk damaging boats, damaging blokes, and ruining the whole trip just for the sake of being lazy and not unpacking and walking around this. So you want to know what a full unpack looks like? We just had to walk every bit of gear out of the boats for only about 100 metres, maybe 150 metres, but over this crap. Rock and slippery weed and through scrub. That would be, without doubt, between Frenchman's Track and Stones Crossing, the whole, well, most of the freshwater part of the Wenlock, or that you can navigate anyway. This would be the hardest section I've ever had to push through. First time I've had to push through it, and yeah, it's ordinary. We got here at about 11 o'clock, and it's now 1:45, and we've just got the last of the gear coming over now. So here's Jeff and Noppo with a couple of fishing rods and an esky, and that might be the end of it, but wow. After nearly 3 hours of getting through that crazy section of the river, it was followed up by more shallow sections, more log jams, but eventually we got time to fish and we started smacking them in the afternoon session.
Watch the what, sorry?
There's the electric.
Problem.
Electric just on the side. Limbo.
Lucky I'm fat, I mean heavy.
How we doing with that still, Damo?
Forty. That's a thought so far.
So thought so far.
I'm going Morton to Billy's next year. Thought so far. It's a shallow shit of a section. A lot of fish though.
Massive footy. Come on, you.
Holy shit, that's a fucking oar. Look at this bastard.
Yeah, buddy. Doga. Little doga. Nice. That's right. Okay. That's fine.
Good job.
These beautiful fish.
What do you got there, mate?
Another toga. Yeah, actually come up with another one. Damo had one come off. We had a DH for a sec there, but and this is the smaller one, and he's still a good fish. So it's unreal here. The amount of fish in these stacks is. Oh yeah. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, we came back for it. Seriously. You're there too then. Plenty of fish here. Now, this looks pretty crocky. Straight arm, come on, oh yeah, she goes at it. Oh, they're aggressive. Another city chasing us here. Another two don't want to see it. The wind's just picked up and may have changed direction a little bit because it's hard to tell
in the river because it swirls around inside the gorge of the river a lot. Because as soon as that wind picked up, they went quiet on the surface. We're smacking them, fish after fish after fish on the surface, and now they're gone dead quiet. So I'll pull my plastic, or pull the plastic rod out and make a couple of casts with the plastic. Any sort of change can create that sort of thing where they just go very quiet all of a sudden on surface, but they're quite happy to take a little plastic. I'm going to have to cast that close if I want to catch a fish. Running through all this super shallow stuff, and there's these little deep dark pockets on the corners that quite often hold a toga or a sooty, but oh, there he is, toga. Look at that. Nice toga too. He's got a sooty grunter swimming with him. Oh, it's a big toga. It's got a shark tail, so get out of that. And that is a massive toga. His tail on there. And his head goes to the end of the riding there. Toga. There's a big log in the water there, so there's a few fish on it. Yeah. There's one. His nose is talking out. They just finished our first day on the river and spent more time getting through the river than we did fishing. We had probably a good 2 hours of, or 3 hours of fishing this morning. It's really quiet for the first couple of hours, and then it really picked up, especially on the sooties. Sooties on soft plastics were going off. Then we hit those rapids, and they were just a nightmare. Then after the rapids, just shallow section, right up until here. This is the camp we were predicting to camp at on day one. There's a big bushfire behind us too that we've got to watch, and it's a fair bit going on. We probably caught a fair few fish here. Jeff, Noppo and Gemmo caught some barra and toga and stuff right here at camp, so well, there's still plenty of fish in the river, but yeah, it's very different to what we've experienced on other Wenlocks. So yeah, see what tomorrow brings, but time to have a camp. Morning scene at camp. Damo's on the breakfast.
Is someone having 2 eggs? Because just put it both on one plate.
You're going to try to get the lure off the snag by shooting the snag and shooting the lure off.
Still there.
That's going to be the dearest lure on the trip.
Totally fucked.
It's a little fuck.
That was ridiculous.
Good go. so good to look up the river, see another 2 boats and everyone's catching fish.
Oh, there he is.
It's closing time. The bar is almost empty.
Lovely. Ooh,
It's me,
sooty for sure.
the bartender, and the piano man.
Oh, they're
Last
crazy,
call
these
for alcohol
things. It's white Bennett.
has come and gone.
Oh yeah, came back for it.
Hey buddy, time to go home. Sounds like a messed up plan. It's just the thought of you that's more than I can take. I guess I'm hard for me to break.
Ooh, there's a fish straight away. Ooh, that's a good fish. That's a big tiger too. Oh no, there's a barra. After a 3-hour ordeal of getting through some rapids yesterday, we're at a section where it's all hard rock underneath the boat, as you heard, and I can hear rapids again, I can hear a waterfall. We can't turn back, so we're probably a third of the way through the trip, if not approaching halfway through the trip, and we've just got to try to get through this. And 3-hour ordeal to get through it yesterday, so see how we go today. You know what, I love this fishing trip. This is my idea of a holiday. Well, I should take a little vacation, wouldn't I? Maybe a tropical resort. Cocktails by the pool. So what have we got? We're probably going to have to carry the boats over the rocks. We've got a scrub ball, which is why the gun's here, because the scrub ball's a bit cranky. And we've got a fire. Anything else we've got to contend with? Other little gentle one there. Does someone want to go for a swim over there and check it, do a recon?
Pretty sure we're up like that too.
Yeah, but not a big one though.
Walk across the shallows up there.
You reckon the other side? The left side?
Well, someone has to go across and have a look.
Or we send a drone?
Send a drone? What do you reckon?
Deploy the drone! Well, we don't need to have gone it up that high.
What about walking across the other side where it's shallow and get across to the other bank? You wouldn't swim across here, you'd get eaten, but you'd have a chance to get across the other side. Doing a good job for you, Jeff, actually.
Why is that?
Because you're the bravest out of all of us.
What the boats without that?
Here comes the recon team back. See if we can get through the other side.
All good. Need to get an excavator over there and smooth a few things out. It's running too fast. Down into a couple of corridors like that.
No good. Full unpack?
I would say so.
Damn, alright.
This trip. Gym workout.
Just when you get the boats over, you got to start carrying all the shit too.
Unless you want to do a couple of loads of little stuff and catch the rest.
Yeah, that's right. Second day in a row. And one more set of rapids to go after this. How you going, Princess?
Not too bad. You told me we could drive around the last couple.
I promise you.
Yeah,
Alright. He doesn't know me too well. He doesn't know him for the shit yet. Hey, hey. Bit of R&R after unpacking all those boats and carrying them, mate. Oh, Jeff's going to get smashed. Missed it.
With all the boats packed up and ready to go again, couldn't help myself but to throw a hard body into this waterfall and just see some of the sooty grunters that came out of it.
The ripples in the water just over there is the first crocodile I've spotted. He just slid straight off that bank into that dark looking water right there, which yeah, that water looks a bit spooky itself, but hey, first croc. Sitting here making a cup of tea on the river, and look who pops in. Black Betty. Oh, look at this thing. Nice barra. That's what we're chasing. Big sunken tree over here. Big bank cut away. Gotta be some fish in here. Come on. Oh yeah, hold him. Oh, drop that. This is on that side. About now, cut push. There, we'll go in a bit deeper. There, go right up in the corner. Gotta be something there. Usually go now. Yes! Oh yeah! Mate, right on that drop off. I knew he'd come and take it there. Mate, right when the lure's about to go in shallow water, they smack him. Nice bogger. Good work, son. Quick release. Fresh for impact, boys. Boom. Had to sleep last night looking out for a bushfire that was coming into our camp, so hoping we don't have to do the same tonight, but we might have to. Little red glow on the horizon as we're trying to go to bed. Not very comforting. Nice little bay, that'll do. 5:15 in the afternoon. Got through some river.
Nothing up on top there, eh?
That's where the snorers go, mate. Yeah.
We're getting nice breezes too, eh?
Nice, isn't it? They're getting his boat all ready for the day, and we're heading out for day 3, and we're going to go back a little bit down the river because we got to this camp really late because we couldn't find any really good camp spots. So we looked for a really nice sandy bank, and there was plenty of sand, but all trees all over it, and it just took us ages to find this spot last night. So we got here about 5:30, and we blew past some really good fishing holes. So we're going to go backstream a little bit because we made up so much ground trying to find this camp spot that we've got plenty of time. There is a log jam just past us that we can see from these hills, and further past where we're going to camp tonight there's another set of rapids. So today's going to be another day of battling the river, so we're going to start off with a bit of fishing and before we worry about getting in to get through the river. So the plan this morning was to push up the river because we missed so much good fishing area when we were hunting for a camp last night. It was getting pretty late, so we had to move pretty quick. Now, Noppo and Jeff are on a snag behind me, and I've just been watching them pull up toga and barra and stuff like that, so they're smacking on that snag. Wasn't room for 2 boats, so I've come down the river a little bit, and I've got this bank here that's got sunken timber along the whole length of it. That just stinks barramundi to me, so I'm going to try to get some barra on surface lures. I use a walk the dog surface lure. You don't have to. For barra, they'll take a cup face surface lure as well, even a fizzer sometimes, although my hookup rate on fizzers is terrible. But a little tip for you: when you use a walk the dog lure, use a mono leader instead of a fluorocarbon leader. The reason is fluorocarbon sinks where mono leaders float, and if you can imagine, you've got to get that thing walking across the surface in that zigzag type pattern, and if you've got a leader that sinks, when you pull on it, it seems to want to pull the nose under the water instead of getting a nose sitting up, so it does a nice walk the dog. So little tip for you: use a mono leader when you're using a walk the dog lure. Let's see if we get some barra off this bank on surface.
That's a good fish too.
Another barra? Or is it a toga? It's fun like a barra, but he hasn't jumped. Oh, there he is. There's a good barra. Beautiful fish.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Now that's a legal size barra. It is a good fish. I'm really happy with that one. Big barra. Oh, nice. Came up on the surface a little too. Oh, look at that. There's a second barrel on surface from those snags. Oh, got him. Little barra. Oh yeah. This is gonna go. This is gonna be ugly. Bang there. And oh, I'm stuck. Bang there. There goes my paint job. Ain't going nowhere. Oh, there's me prop. Hey boys! I just spun a prop. Hold it up. I lost my prop. That's supposed to have a bit on it. That's a pretty important bit too. Still got my bottle pin, I've just done my prop.